Hey guys, it's Dan with the Corporate Thief Beats. Got another beat breakdown for you today. This one is going to be on how to create a Kid Cudi beat. I'm going to go into the screen share now and show you how I created. But just before I get into the screen share, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. This is Dan with the Corporate Thief Beats. Enjoy the tutorial, guys. Thank you. Hey guys, it's Dan back with another beat showcase, another beat breakdown. This beat that I'm going to break down today is a Kid Cudi style beat. Now this is based on the kind of music that Kid Cudi was making back in the Man in the Moon kind of days. Kind of heavy synth, kind of hip hop kind of type beats, where it's got that kind of hip hoppy vibe, drums to it, but the whole beat is very heavy synth based tracks. Some of the tracks that were inspired by was Alive and the Cutter Zone, and maybe some of his earlier mixtape as well. Kind of had some of those kind of sounds, but this is the kind of ones that I wanted to create. The track is called Zoning. I'm just gonna display every little section and then kind of break it down after. Okay, so this is the intro. It's a heavy synth intro. I'm gonna pause it there. So basically you can hear the kind of synthy sounds that I use in it, and they all kind of have similar kind of sounds. I'll just play each one of them separate. They're all kind of just to generate background kind of noise. That's really what's the main kind of thing I'm trying to get. It's trying to be busy without kind of taking up too much space in the mix. So these kind of sounds. And you know that sound, that kind of first sound is very Kid Cudi. It's almost kind of lazy kind of sounding, and then I kind of put these kind of spacey kind of glittery effects in the background, kind of give it to us a little bit more busyness. As you can see, those kind of sounds create a very big, wide stereo sound. Now I'll just kind of go into the pattern to show you what the pattern was. Okay. And you see that there's nothing really to it. It's just a simple chord progression for that that part. That kind of simple kind of follow kind of bass line part, and the same with the glittery effects. And then I kind of brought in other kind of sounds as well. I'll show you what they sounded like individually, and they're all kind of following the same, but they have a little different melody. This is kind of the main melody. It's a really simple melody. It's a really simple melody, and then I kind of added more. Just keep copying and pasting with different sounds. As you can see, they're the same melody in those two sounds. I just kind of kept doubling them up over and over again. And a cave heart comes in. And they're all playing the exact same melody. It's just they're adding to the sound. They're making it busy, but it's not kind of taking away anything from the song. Next, I brought in a lot of strings. A lot of that album Man on the Moon had a lot of string sounds, and it's kind of a staccato kind of pattern that I kind of used, and then it kind of slides into a little ending riff, and they all play the same melody, the same pattern part at the end. I'll just play all them on their own. I'll play all those kind of strings on their own. And that's all it was for that kind of intro. But all together, all these little small little sounds sounded really well together. I'll just show you what they sound like now again. It sounds really kind of busy, but not kind of overly too busy as well. But every sound is shining through, and just to kind of accentuate that, I'm still in the intro, but I'm getting to the verse. I brought in the bass just to kind of give it that body. And it's a really nice bass sound within Logic. It's called thumb bass. And I didn't really go drastic or crazy on it. I just kind of kept it very simple. I think there was enough kind of the melody and all the kind of little sounds are doing so much that I didn't want to kind of go crazy on it. I also have some arpeggios going on in the background too. I'll show now. It just kind of a lot of his sounds was influenced by space and going to the moon and stuff. I kind of kept that kind of vibe within this kind of beat, and altogether it really sounds well. So to get into the verse, then I brought in the drums basically. So the drums are basically, I'm just gonna play the kick and the snare. I kind of have that metallic kind of drum sound, and I think that's coming from my snare, which has some reverb on it. Now I just see where it's going now. It's going to bus. It's going to a couple of different buses here now. So I have drum reverb, and that's coming from here. And that was kind of just a regular reverb that I have on there. Nothing crazy. I think it's just the default kind of pattern that I have on that snare. But it gives it a metallic kind of feel. Like if I just kind of play that on its own. Play that on its own. Play all these on its own. You'll hear what it sounds like without. It sounds kind of dead and boring, but when I bring on all the reverb, it kind of has a little bit more kind of. And I also added a snare delay as well. And it's really beefed that snare up now a lot more. And that's the main kind of part. But once all the other kind of stuff, I have a kind of a crash delay as well. It's kind of a snare crash delay. That's just a little tiny effects. A lot of these beats are all just small effects. There's nothing crazy to them, but when you join them all together, that's just the drum pattern, the snare pattern, drum pattern, kick drum pattern, snare pattern, and that's like the snare delay, just adding more effects onto it. A lot of these kind of extra instruments I'm using is just for effects. So because when you hear them all together, they kind of sound more like a drum kind of sound, but then they kind of have more body to them to get together. And you can hear the effects there now with that. I'm just gonna get out of this now, and I'm gonna actually just show you what it sounds like with just some of the synths in there. I just kept that kind of weird kind of Cudi bass kind of sound and the glittery sounds in the background while the drums are playing. and there is some effects that come in more after that. Now I have like hi-hats, open hi-hats that come in, and these kind of two arpeggios at the bottom kind of come in there as well. There's actually a really, this is a common kind of thing in these kind of beats, and Drake does it a lot in his beats, or Drake's producer does it a lot, where you add a pad just to kind of split the verse up a bit more. Sometimes they do it with a chorus as well. It might be the same beat, but then there's this kind of pad sound that comes in. It just kind of gives another flavor to the song. So I'll just show you this pad sound first. Let's show you what it sounds like. It's called Entering Castles. And it kind of just, I don't know, for me it just kind of seems to bring all the kind of sounds together. And I think it's great the way that the hi-hat, the open hi-hats come in there as well. It's like all these sounds just kind of create variation in the song. And there's nothing crazy difficult about any of this. It's like I just kind of follow it, and all I did was make it with my MIDI keyboard and just put it wherever I wanted that it sounded well. All the instruments kind of sound lazy in it, and it kind of has that Cudi kind of vibe, the kind of stoner, kind of lazy kind of stoner vibe. And you can see the second half of the verse, I brought in the bass guitar, and it just kind of fills it once you hear it ending. And what I did there as well is I kind of accentuated the velocities in those kind of effects here, that kind of snare crash and that snare crash delay. So when you hear that first part of the verse end, it kind of gets a bit louder, and it kind of takes you on this kind of another journey with the bass as well. And it's the same part that's going on here now. The only thing I've really added was the open hi-hats at that section, but it sounds like a new part of the song. Like I really haven't added any kind of more instrumentation, but once the hi-hats come in here, in that second part of that verse, they kind of just really kind of lift the song. And I think it's the really kind of delay kind of effects that I put on, and reverb effects that I put on, that kind of give it that kind of fluidity, and kind of like if someone's playing it kind of very lazy kind of drums. And the pattern for that is really kind of simple. It wasn't anything too complicated. I just a little simple kind of follow the beat kind of every second step, and then kind of like another kind of hi-hat over it. But when you hear them all together, it's kind of really shaking every time you hear it, and it kind of really drives the beat on, especially with the bass line. They all kind of work and gel together. And just before the chorus comes in, I brought in those the kind of string instruments. I brought in all the strings just to kind of let everyone know we're going to the chorus. And I took the bass line out there as well. And the main melody kind of drives the chorus then. That's really it. Like the violins came in there beforehand, but they were already playing for the pre-verse. or the pre-chorus, and all I did was bring in the melody. That's all the chorus is. It's the same as the verse, it's just got the melody in it now. But all together, it sounds like this. Oops. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes when there's too much playing, it kind of gets off. So I'm just gonna move on now. Play the chorus. I'm getting a bit too much kind of buffering here now. So basically that was the verse and the chorus. Now there's nothing to it, and I think I have a little bit of a breakdown before the chorus again. That was really just it. It's like it just goes intro, verse, chorus, verse again, pre-chorus, chorus, and then kind of goes to a little breakdown after the. This was the bridge of the song. This was the main bridge of the song. Didn't really do much here. All I did was kind of play around with the patterns. Just kind of take out the drums. Let all the kind of synths kind of shine through. A lot of Cudi songs have synths. And I kind of just let them all shine through. And let them play on their own and kind of keep that emptiness without the bass guitar or anything like that. Without that kind of main kind of Kid Cudi synth in it. You can hear the violins in the background as well. It's building up now. And that's how buffer size is killing me, latency is killing me at the minute now. But that's really how I created that Kid Cudi beat. And if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. There's not much to it, but altogether it sounds really nice. It has a nice sound to it. It definitely has a Cudi kind of vibe to it. And I'll just give you a quick preview of it before I leave. Just leave it playing for a second. And that's about it, guys. That's all I really did for that Kid Cudi beat. There's nothing too crazy in the mix. I do have some delays on some stuff here. Usually I don't do that, but to really get that kind of crazy song, I kind of had to break some rules that I don't like doing. But I did heavily EQ all of it, as well. As you can see from a lot of the EQ, I took out a lot of stuff that things don't need. I boosted some stuff, and just a little bit here and there, but I have a lot of parallel compression on the track as well, because to really beef up my kicks and the bass line as well. So I'll just kind of play them just before I leave the end of it. So I just put on the drum mix and see what it sounds like. Now if I take out the parallel compression, it kind of sounds a bit dead. See, if I affect that now, it really pumps the hell out of the kick. It really gives it a good kind of sound. That kick really has a good sound with that compression on it, and it really is really bouncing. And all together with all the sounds. It has that natural kind of drummer like feel to it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of tutorial on how to make a Kid Cudi beat. It's all to do with the kind of synth sounds that you pick, but to keep it very simple. A lot of the time is very simple, little melodies. It doesn't have to be a crazy bass line. I kind of modeled it to a lot of the stuff that he created on Man on the Moon. And I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll make another video tomorrow, guys. Take care.